fat schlong. Okay, let's watch. Does the hijab oppress Muslim women?
If I'm choosing to dress the way I dress and that does not hurt anyone else, I don't think I'm gonna go to hell for it.
Don't be fucking r/atheist Andy, by the way. I'm gonna be really annoyed if you do that.
Hijab just pretty much stands for being modest with your appearance and letting people see you for who you are, your personality, and not just your looks.
When people think about hijab, they think of a piece of cloth.
But to me, it's like my identity.
I just haven't worn it yet because I don't think I've found a connection with it.
I took off my hijab probably almost a year ago. When I decided to take it off, I kind of escaped from the Muslim community a little bit.
Some of us, our upbringings, our mosques made us have difficult relationships with hijab. That's something that I had.
I do think that there are certain groups that wear the hijab that think that if you don't wear it, that you don't connect with Islam.
A lot of hijabis would pick on people who are not hijabis. They think that we're lesser than, or we're not as religious, or we're not praying 5 times a day. Like, no, we're doing that too. Can we be equal and not judge so much?
My name is Fatima. I am a student at UCLA studying anthropology and film.
I'm Sha'am. I'm also a student at UCLA, but I'm studying international development.
My name is Jinnah, and I also am a pre-med biology student, and I work in a medical field too.
I'm Sabah or Saba, depends on how you want to say it. I'm a senior in high school.
I'm Lean, and I'm a business analyst for a healthcare company.
I'm Marwa or Marwa, and I do a lot of journalism and fundraising and really random.
There's like a 78% likelihood that all of these girls watch this stream, or at least like definitely have watched videos of mine. So watch what you fucking say.
Random things on social media.
I want you to step forward and take a seat if you agree. So the first prompt is, a hijabi woman is a better Muslim.
What if no one agrees? Oh.
I'm shocked I'm sitting here. When we read the Quran, we get our own interpretations of it. But it does say that in there, to only show your hands, face, and feet. If God says it, then I definitely think that is better. But I don't think the behavior of acting like you're better than someone, that I don't see that's right.
Can I have the disagrees come forward?
I actually have so much to say about this.
Go for it, start.
Okay, I think a lot of people think that it's like a point system. Oh yes, hijab ding, you know, like next level. And I don't think God is like, this person wears the hijab, you're good to go, versus this person doesn't, so you're out. I think everything else that you do weighs in. I do know many hijabis that like do not follow anything else. And I know a lot of non-hijabis that are the most religious, you know, women that I've ever met.
I have a friend on like Instagram who dresses however she wants to dress, and she could rock it. She has a body for it.
Mashallah.
But she goes to every Friday prayer, and I'm like, dang, she's a better Muslim than I am.
And I do find that like when it comes to behavior out of the Muslim community, I find that ritual takes precedent over behavior a lot of the times, to the point where like people are just outright mean to each other, but they don't realize that that's a sin too, you know? And when people say you're doing this wrong, it kind of like does deter your relationship a little bit, you know? You second guess even your relationship with Allah, which should be, there should be no complications, it should just be pure.
There's so many things that are disregarded as sins because they don't
Exactly.
seem, like even like with interest or whatever, they're like it's technically a sin that people just overlook. But when
Yeah.
it comes to hijab, that's like everyone's main focus.
The scrutiny behind it is like insane.
I think the Muslims create chaos around it because they want to feel like they're the right ones doing it the right way.
But to your point, like if we're talking, let's talk about hijab, for example. You don't do that. Do you feel
Yeah,
like
I'm sinning right now. I know that. If you have to say, well, I'm more rebellious, you know you're doing something wrong, and that's shaitan trying to get you to normalize it. A lot of sins that we're doing, we're being normalized. We're in America. This is the most sinful country probably ever.
I so disagree with you about
Tom.
something. I disagree about making excuses.
These are my favorite people on the internet, and in general, by the way. Like, little woke hijabi fucking American Muslims are some of the funniest motherfuckers on the planet. They're funny as shit. They're incredibly kind. It's anecdotal for the most part. They love to shit on the conservative Muslims. Like, they love to shit on the conservative Muslims who fucking are like, whether they wear a hijab or not doesn't matter. Like, the really weird fucking conservatives. And they're also super fucking woke.
Excuses. I'm not saying that this thing is okay and like.
We also have a very prominent member who is a woke hijab wearing moderator in here as well. I will not do the disrespect of, you know what, fuck it. Morgan, who's very famous for saying that eggs look like boba and that she wants to, what was it? I want to suck those eggs like boba. What the fuck was it? Someone has the link. It's iconic. Suck the eggs out of my ovaries like boba. Oh, Jesus Christ. Woke? Yeah. No, she's woke as fuck.
Like, in America, it's all right. Actually, God didn't say it. No, but I am saying I don't think I'm going to go to hell for it. I am saying I'm aware that I'm acting like this, but I just don't think of God as a punisher because I think that affects my relationship with him. I think of him as a very, like, loving, kind of like, don't do this because I want to protect you, but I get why you have the temptation to do it.
So do you think people are going to hell if you don't think he's a punisher?
I think if your actions affect other people, personally, you are going to hell. And I know this can be nitpicked because like a man can look at you. I understand that, but you know, if I'm choosing to dress the way I dress and that technically like does not hurt anyone else, you know, it's just my personal choice, I don't think you're going to hell. I think it's such a personal relationship between me and, you know, God, Allah, you know, that kind of thing. It frustrates me when people get involved because I'm like, it's none of your business.
Right.
Let me do me, you know? I have not worn a hijab. I do think it's like a very loud image of Islam. I think it's a very clear representation of it. It can be terrifying because it's like you're a walking symbol at all times. But I also think it's a very clear symbol of strength. I think it takes a lot of strength to wear it. I don't know if I personally have that strength as of right now.
The hijab was created to protect women.
That's what it said in the Quran. It said, only show your hands, feet, and face, and it's supposed to protect you from the opposite sex.
Yeah, no, just like reflecting back, not just like wearing it as a headscarf, but like wearing long sleeves and like just dressing more modestly in general. I feel like it protected me from a lot.
I think it is like a two-way street. I think, you know, there are a lot of things mentioned for the other sex, lower your gaze and all that, but I do think it was meant as a protective measure in a certain way.
I do believe that the hijab does provide protection in some ways, but I don't think it was created for the purpose of protection.
So like, if you had to say it was created for something, would you say it's more of a modesty thing, or what do you think it really represents then?
Well, I think that hijab is so complicated. He also uses the word khimar, which literally translates to headscarf. This isn't called a hijab, this is called a khimar. A khimar is the actual translation for the head covering that covers your chest. And there's a lot of translations that came in that have called this a scarf, and that's where the confusion has set in. And so they're like, well, it doesn't have to cover
It's
your,
just a
or
piece of
veil,
cloth.
or
It's just a piece of cloth.
When I think of the hijab, I think of it more like the principle behind it, modesty and humility and just like not being too outlandish. And so I don't think it's super gendered. I feel like the hijab is something that men in their way should be also observing.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. A dude should not be checking me out. Like, I think the hijab like prevents that. Like, for example, without my hijab, I go to like a solid like 8 out of 10 appearance, like attraction wise. And then with the hijab, I'm like, you know, a 2. And I think it does a really good job. Like when it makes me uglier, I feel like, good job, hijab, you know?
Yeah, I think we should just preface it like Islam isn't the one dictating all this. It's literally like Muslim culture.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
that is very true.
Like the way you wear your hijab, like for example, the way that I'm wearing it right now is like a no-no to many people.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh my God, like, you know, that little chin is showing.
Like you can't wear pants.
Like I can't wear pants, yeah.
They're saying chin now?
Like everything, the haram police will come for you for literally anything.
Haram
Like, we
police?
talk about this forever.
The chin though.
Have you ever been judged by hijabi women for not wearing the hijab?
Yeah, by my sister actually. I wore it up in a bun, like bantu. Then she actually was talking behind my back in the Muslim community, talking like, oh, she's crazy, she's a whore. And I'm like, but you have stories too. I'm like, I don't get it.
Women are held to higher standards of modesty than men.
Can I run?
Where do I start? Where do I start?
Can we talk about how guys can like go out clubbing, drinking, like go out, like have girlfriends, and that's totally fine. No one even bats an eye. But when it comes to like girls doing the same thing, it's like, oh,
they need to experience life.
yeah, they need to experience life.
Right.
It's okay.
They have to get it out of their system before they get married.
Yeah.
No one is like, oh, don't marry that guy because
Oh
he
my
drank.
God.
Yeah. A girl gets caught at the mall having a conversation with a store associate, and then someone's mom sees that girl and she's like, nobody marry that woman's daughter.
over. Yeah.
She's
I saw her
blacklisted,
at the mall with a boy. I just want to say I've never gone to a guy's photo and looked at the comments. No one's calling him a whore or a slut or you're going to hell for what you're wearing or your ankles are showing. Just the basic line of
The funniest thing is like this is literally one step removed, or this is basically the Islamified version of incels. Like what they're talking about is basically exactly what motherfuckers on this website do to like female streamers and shit. It's just, again, this is why I always say there is a difference between like hating Islam and hating fucking conservatives. Okay? A lot of times, conservative people unironically and uncritically hate conservative Muslims. So if you're an r/atheist Andy, remember that you are literally fucking shitting, you are operating like conservatives do by shitting on conservative elements within a religion and within a group of people, and then encompassing the entirety of that religion as a monolith.
like clothing, we experience so much more.
I want to know what they think.
I know, I'm
because
so
I'm
curious.
Oh yeah.
I disagree completely because it's more of a cultural thing. I think I took the prompt very literally and applied it to Islam. I don't think Islam necessarily lets guys get away with more. I mean, at the end of the day, like if they're gonna go out, like if they're gonna go live their best life, let them. Allah is the final judge. It's none of my business. I'm gonna stay out of it. And I think it's more cultural than religious.
Right.
So that's why I 100% disagree. But if it's cultural, I'll be here all day long.
I agree with you. I don't think it's religious at all. I was thinking culture.
Oh, I was thinking purely religious.
I think that throughout history, it's a patriarchal history.
Of course.
There are parts of the religion itself that are different for men and women in a way that it seems like it's because the men are the ones who are saying these things. People say like there's no female prophets. I'm not sure about that. I don't know. There could have been female prophets and just never had their stories told. The understanding of religion that we have as humans is purely based on the fact that humans are the ones telling us these stories about religion. I would say that I've seen a lot of like gendered things, very gendered to the point that we don't even explore people who are not fixed in those binaries, you know? We don't talk about queer Muslims, we don't talk about anything like that. I feel like there's just like, people are just too afraid to talk about that because they're afraid it's going to be questioning the religion.
Before 2016, I never thought I would be wearing hijab anytime soon.
It's so funny how many fucking liberals or r/atheist dudes are like, whoa, this is so weird. Why are they talking about this stuff in this way? It's like, you've literally never met Muslim people or know very few Muslim people. and have no fucking opinion on it beyond like what fucking Sam Harris told you in his podcast. Okay? And Bill Maher and Sam Harris are the only reasons why you feel the way you do about Muslims in America. And that's precisely why you fucking lose your shit anytime I talk about the Pew study that showed that Muslim Americans are literally more tolerant than white evangelical Protestants. Anytime I say this, people are like, shut the fuck up. That's not true. There's also hella ex-Muslims that are cringe as fuck too, don't get me wrong. Anyway. The idea seed is hard to unplant. The hijab is a person of who is Muslim that see me as lesser human that's okay to take advantage of me, or even if it's think that infidel or is even think that I am infidel that should die. I know isn't correct, but I know can't remove the idea. Am not conservative? What? You think Muslims automatically assume you're an infidel and you need to die? What? Muslim men are forbidden from showing their belly button or knees, but no one cares about that? Yeah, because that's not as rigid as fucking your face, your hair, your ankles, and your wrists.
In my mind, I was like, oh, I'll get married, I'll have kids, and then like some point in my life, I'll throw it on. And I think
call me the fucking, call me a prophet if that's the case, bro. I don't think men should show their knees either. I think shorts are crazy. I think, especially in the workplace, like no shorts. No shorts in the workplace, motherfucker. What are we doing here?
I think I was being guided in a wrong way when it came
Unless
to
you
the
got sexy ass
conversation around
legs,
hijab.
in which case it's all right.
Hijab is a promise between you and God, a more difficult level of faith, but the struggle is part of the devotion.
A non-Muslim person can wear a hijab.
A non-Muslim can wear a hijab? What the fuck?
I think personally it depends. I know some like Christian women argue that the hijab is technically instilled in the Bible and that they want to wear it, and I feel like in that case it's totally okay. But when it comes to like fashion purposes or just wearing it just for the look, I feel like in that case I would disagree.
Well, I think that's actually awesome. If a non-Muslim tries to wear hijab and they try to cover or be modest, I think that's amazing because it is considered a good deed. And if that's what you want to do and it maybe leads you into Islam, alhamdulillah, you know, you're better than me right now, so good job.
I think I was looking at it more like if I had, let's say, a non-Muslim friend that wanted to come with me to, let's say, the mosque, and they put it on, I think that's acceptable.
Yeah, it's to be respectful.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Very, yeah.
I mean, you literally have to. You can't go in the mosque without putting it on. I don't know what's up with that. Alhamdulillah and all, but
I actually took this as more of a cultural appreciation versus appropriation type of topic. I think we can all agree we're going to define hijab as a lifestyle and cultural everything-wise type of statement. So I took it in as that. And like I think someone brought up the friend coming to the masjid and think that's appreciation, not appropriation. Like Netflix shows, they have a hijab, take it off. Nuh-uh, babe. I have such an issue with that because like, again, it goes back to this whole idea of like, we have no freedom, we are in this closet 24/7, we're in a bubble, we live on, no. Just because you like a boy, you're not gonna take off your hijab for him.
Every hijabi that's in a show takes off her
Takes
hijab.
off.
For a white guy, by the way, it's always
It's
white.
always the white guys.
Always the white guys.
It's like, come on, dude. We are so much more than the girl who's trapped inside of her house. And she's like,
funny.
screw my religion. You know?
That's
not real.
Muslim women are like misrepresented all the time.
There was a thing with Rihanna where she just put it on for a photo because it fit the
yeah.
That is something that frustrates
remember
me.
that.
I didn't have a problem with that.
Really?
We do that. Like come on, Muslim women do that.
yeah, we
Why
do.
can't Rihanna do it?
No, that's appreciation to me.
bro, she just loves Rihanna. That's so funny. She's just like, I'm a fan. She's just like, yo, come on, it's Rihanna.
She's wearing it out of respect for being at a masjid, and she just took a photo.
Non-hijabis do that.
Yeah.
We do that.
That's what I'm
Like, I
saying.
put scarves on when I want to. I pose for it when I want to. Sometimes I do it because I'm around hijabis when I want to.
Well, I was just gonna say it's just because they have such a privilege where they can take it off whenever.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
we can't.
I just remember the greatest example of all time because, okay, so
You absolutely have some level of Muslim blinders on. Why? Because I said factually correct statements about how American Muslims are more tolerant against the LGBT community than white evangelical Protestant Christians. I'm not like additionally tolerant to Muslim people, or I'm just the right amount of fucking tolerant to people of all backgrounds and all religions, as long as they're not fucking conservative. That's it. And every time people say this shit, it is their own personal fucking anger that they have, their own personal background. I've never, ever in a million fucking years defended like Muslim people who say, you know, you can't teach kids about LGBT. Like you should not do LGBT education in schools or whatnot. Just because someone's Muslim doesn't change that fucking reality. Like you're still a piece of shit. Okay? What did you say? Source of that claim, Pepe? Oh, yeah. Is it possible to argue with conservatives dismiss all facts as fake? Just make up fake facts. No, I believe you have a level of acceptance of anti-women aspects of Islam. I so many things agree with your opinions, and mine aren't informed by Sam Harris. What do you mean anti-women aspects of Islam? You're literally seeing a bunch of Muslim women who straight up are not wearing a hijab and a bunch of women who are wearing a hijab, and they're having a fucking conversation around like whether not wearing a hijab is anti-woman or not. I used to have a way more fucking aggressive stance. When I was growing up in Turkey, I was a way bigger r/atheist dipshit, okay? When I was growing up in Turkey, I despised people who wear hijabs. I did. I thought, like, you know, they're lesser. I thought they were dumb. I thought they were fucking, you know, blinded and crazy and you know, belief in religion is so stupid. I had all of those fucking childish opinions, okay? I had all the childish POVs that everyone has, every person who has like gone through that period of time has gone through. Okay? I was fucking wrong. I grew up. I realized that there are plenty of women who wear the hijab on their own, especially in a country like America, or even in a country like fucking Turkey for the most part. Like, there are sure conservative assholes and like really religious dipshits, but their daughters oftentimes escape escape that oppressive approach. But some people are still forced to wearing a hijab, but it's not always a force. It's not a forced position, especially in fucking America. Okay, it literally takes more to wear a fucking hijab in the United States than not wear one. You get that, right? Like, people shit on you, people look at you. It's like a fucking beacon for bigotry. So you bet your fucking ass these people want to wear it. When you're so fucking woke, you end up turning around and like literally telling women what they can and can't wear is kind of weird. Anyway. All talk and no debate. You're afraid of atheists? Pepe Smugger? What? You'll never debate an atheist? I've debated plenty of fucking atheists. Hey, the young punk, how about you debate it? Ew. Ugh. There's nothing wrong with being an atheist, but there's everything wrong with being a cringy r/atheist debate Lord Andy. Like, debate me. No, fuck off, dude. Yeah. Yeah, I'm terrified of you.
So Mia Khalifa, that one video.
Oh, this shit triggers the fuck out of Muslim women because she's Christian.
Of her, I don't like from that I get called Mia Khalifa all the time.
I get called Mia Khalifa and I don't know what you're
I get called, and I don't like that. It goes back to the whole fetishizing thing. And
I think it's okay because she's Arab, but like
she's no. People have actually DM'd me and been like, oh, are you on some like Mia Khalifa type shit? I'm like,
No, I get it.
Mia Khalifa did it, so you can too. No. Like this goodness is not for anyone to see. It's for the person that'll love me. It's for the person that'll respect me. It's for the person that I will have kids with, inshallah. That's what it's for. It's not for any of y'all.
What made you want to start wearing the hijab?
The Boston bombing had just happened, and I was really young. I was supposed to go to a field trip to a mosque. And I remember that people started rallying outside my school because I went to an Islamic school, and I just saw all the hate, and I realized that that's not what
I bet she went to a Fethullah Gulen school, bro. No meme. She said Islamic school, so it's probably Fethullah Gulen.
Islam is, and I need to represent it. And the first thing that I could do to represent it is start by wearing my hijab.
Okay, by the way, I gotta run an ad real quick. It's top of the hour. Every hour. Time for a 60-second ad break. Weren't they Chechen? They were, but it doesn't matter, bro. In the eyes of Americans, Muslim guy does bombing. It's over. All Muslims are responsible. And even fucking Sikhs. And even fucking people that look Muslim. Even though Islam is a religion. It's not a race. Except, the first people that you fucking go out and kill are Sikhs. So, how does that work? Bro, your generalizing of atheists is such a letdown of someone who thinks of themselves as an intellectual. First of all, I don't think of myself as an intellectual. And secondly, I'm not even generalizing atheists. I'm talking about a very specific type of atheist. The r/atheist dipshit is what I mean specifically. And if you are getting triggered or butthurt by my r/atheist debate lord mentality, then you probably are that person. I'm sorry. Like, I'm a fucking dumbass, but at least I'm not a fucking cringe debate lord operating off of weird, stereotypical things that you have learned about a specific group of people that you consistently assume is a monolith and act like you know better than. Okay, anyway, it's top of the hour, every hour, 6-second ad break. Time for that right now. You can avoid the ads by subscribing. Do it for $5 or for free. Here's the ad. We're going to go on with the video.
For wearing a hijab.
There's just been so many cases. At school, I've had multiple times where people would, come from the back and be like, boo, and then take off my scarf, pull it off.
That's like taking off a person's clothing.
Exactly.
Like,
the way that I feel naked without it, like I felt so ashamed, and I think that's just not right, especially because I had to go to that at such a young age. But I wish that there were just so many advantages of being a non-hijabi than being a hijabi. TSA airports.
Oh yeah.
I am just any other girl.
What about the hand stuff?
Ooh,
Do the hand stuff you?
the finger
You go
thingy.
through the thing, and they're like, "Can we see your hands?" And they put it on. I'm like, "Oh, what is this for?" And they're like, "We're looking for bomb residue." And I'm like,
Yeah.
They've said that to you?
"Yes,
All the time.
Wallah,
All the
wahayat
time.
Allah." That's why they do it. And
Wait, doesn't everyone go through that? Wait. You don't get checked for bomb residue every time you go through the... Like every time you go through the fucking thing? The X-ray thing? Where they just like rub your hands and they look for gunpowder and bomb residue? I'm not baiting. I literally thought they just stop everyone and look through their hands every single time. Okay, well, I've never traveled without that happening to me, but I literally thought it was just like everyone. Because I'm so fucking white that like I literally thought, you know, they do it to everyone. They do it to me. They do it to everybody. And you know they're like doing the bomb residue thing on my fingies. I've literally not ever had that not happen. I've every single time I've traveled, they've done that, but they don't like lock me away and fucking do a full cavity search and shit. So I just always assume that it's just a thing that's done all the time to everyone all the time. I've literally never not had that. It's not even that big of an inconvenience. The way worse inconvenience is like, you know, they literally look through your cock and everything when you go through that x-ray fucking thing, and they beam you with like radiation, which is worse than I think them just like rubbing stuff in my hands every time I go through that checkpoint. But I legitimately thought that it was something that everyone went through. I'm not even kidding. Yeah, I thought the TSA hand swab was like pretty common, but maybe it's not. I don't know. I've gotten it every time it's happened to me. All right, let's keep going.
The red city I live in, they're not openly racist. They're kindly racist.
Oh, God.
This woman I encountered at the grocery store, I was reaching for milk. She's like, sweetie, you live in America now. You don't have to wear that.
Wow.
She thought she was doing me a favor. That's the weird thing.
The superiority
it wasn't evil.
complex.
It's just ignorance.
The superiority
It was
complex.
the white savior
It hits
thing.
in.
Yeah.
Hearing your guys' stories, I feel like it like hurts a little because I've heard them.
That's chat, by the way. That's literally chat. That's literally chat. That's the chatters who are telling me like, oh, well, they're brainwashed into wearing the hijab, so you don't understand. Like you have a literal fucking blind spot for Muslim women because they're actually literally brainwashed. That was precisely what the fuck I was talking about, by the way, with the r/atheist cringe debate lords.
So many times. And it's always the same, like, go back to your country. This is America. I've never worn the hijab, so I can never say I know the experience, but I have seen it.
Does it discourage you, like our stories at all, for you to like be scared to like try it on or?
No, I don't want fear to control me. The reason I don't wear it is just more personal reasons, I guess, more than it is the society's effect on me, you know?
I have to be honest, like I experienced privilege not wearing hijab. People don't see me as Muslim first, and I've lived my whole life being seen as Muslim first. So when people say like, why would you take it off or whatever, sometimes like it happens where it's like you're tired of all of that and you want to like not be identified or whatever.
Hijab is definitely a struggle, and a lot of hijabis struggle with hijab every day. And then we got the hate from the right wing. We got the hate from inside the Muslim community.
Even
the super progressive left feminists, not just all feminists, but like, you know, the exact ones I'm talking about. And then we have every single other kind
Yeah, the Hasanabi community, that's what she's talking about.
of person on the outside, like, take it off.
Chat, get fucking called
Off,
out.
and you're like, I want to, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to because for me, it's like, if I take it off, what am I really looking for? I'm looking for convenience, but I shouldn't care about those things. When I die, none of that will matter.
Like going to your point, when I wore hijab, like I actually liked me wearing it as like a, you know, you to like West.
It's a symbol of prejudice to be just as wearing MAGA stuff or a cross. People should stop wearing a hijab. Okay, how about before you start shitting on Muslims and whatever fucking garb that they choose to wear, you fix your command over the English language and then try again, and then maybe it'll be a little bit more powerful of a sentiment you're expressing in the chat.
Beauty standards to like all of that. And so when I was thinking about like whether I wanted to wear it or not, I was like, I'm gonna be kind of like giving into the.
Also, that's psychotic. I'm sorry. I've literally never fucking. That's actually a great fucking take, because The people that have a problem with the hijab, I never fucking hear them genuinely express anger at someone wearing a fucking cross. Like, I think it's totally, like, the people who say that are doing it just to be like, yeah, KKK and Antifa are both bad. Like, no, motherfucker, you just want to write legislation around attacking Antifa, but you're just saying KKK because that's, like, the expectation, right? Like, you got to say, like, both sides. You don't give a fuck about fucking people wearing a cross. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You are literally just throwing that in the pile exclusively so you can get people to stop wearing the hijab. I know they do it with French type secularism in Quebec, and they do it in France and shit, but, like, for the most part, people don't give a shit about the cross, dude. Only women wear crosses? No, in general. But wearing a cross is an expression of your religion, just like wearing the hijab is too. So what do you mean?
You know, what people see as like beautiful or what people see as like normal or whatever. But I guess for me, it was becoming harder for me to
look. Okay. Where is it? Wearing a cross is silly too, but it's not as nearly as oppressive. You wouldn't say that if it was a 50-pound cross. Dude. You're fucking, that's your take. Like, you consider a fucking headscarf that someone is putting on their head to be oppressive. That person clearly doesn't. I don't know what to tell you. Like, that person does not feel that way. Why the fuck are you the one who is assuming that it's oppressive for someone else? Yeah. I implore you to stop wearing underwear, and I implore you to stop wearing pants in general. These are oppressive. These are oppressive articles of clothing. Honestly, man was not born with clothes on his back. You should be naked the entire time, and it's quite disgusting to me that you hide your dicks and balls and buttholes. You should be showing it.
to understand like my purpose behind wearing the hijab, because I never got the ability to choose to wear it. My parents just put it on me, so I think for myself like I'm taking like a break.
The one thing that you were saying about like, you know, your parents put you in it, I'm so sorry that happened, because that discourages so many people to wear it, and that is not right, because I am my own individual, and that's what the hijab allowed me to do. Like, I think what it did for you is the exact opposite case for me, because I got that choice. But I hope you stay on to your faith, and I hope you stay strong, ladies.
Yeah. What made you want to take off the hijab?
There's a lot of pressure to wear it from people, and there's a lack of an informed decision based on your own ideals. I just wanted to get a clean slate and find out for myself if it was my choice, because I didn't get that opportunity.
I don't think there could be a time where I could ever remove the hijab. I'm in a really comfortable place with it now. I always want to normalize just Muslim women in general, because there's always like a negative stigma towards Muslim women that wear hijab especially. It's really frustrating that I hear that we're oppressed. So it's really important for me to wear it and show people that we are normal people. We're just like regular girls. We just happen to wear it for our religion.
Modesty in Islam should be redefined for the 21st century.
I don't know. Oh, thank you.
Of course. It has to do with lifestyle choices and things like that. So for example, like, women didn't start working until when?
Not very long ago.
Yeah, a couple of decades ago. Life was very different then. Culturally speaking, we should change. But religiously speaking, how much can you really change? Like, Islam gives women so much. It allows us to be whoever we want, act however we want, do whatever we want, and keep our income and stuff like that. Modesty is just a really broad term.
I totally understand where you're coming from, but I definitely think that staying stuck in the same mindset can be very damaging. Yeah. You know, I can't be like, it was done like this, so we have to keep doing it like this. Yeah. And I also think it changes from country to country. Yeah. So like, I personally lived in Syria for 7 years, and the things that I can get away with here are not the same things that I can get away with there. Yeah. And so what they consider—
Didn't drive 10 years ago? Wait. Oh, I didn't know that Muslim women were not allowed to drive 10 years ago. I didn't know that. Yeah, oh shit is right, motherfucker. If you don't know,
modest is
if you don't
different.
know what the fuck you're talking about, why do you fucking say dumb shit? That makes you look like a fucking racist dumbass. You're literally talking about an oppressive theocratic monarchy that's like committing human rights abuses and assuming that like every Muslim nation is the same. Don't do that. That literally goes back to the same thing I criticize all the time. Muslims are not a fucking monolith. Muslims are not a monolith with one exception, okay? Eating pork is haram. That's it. That's the only thing that Muslims monolithically are on board with. It's the worst sin that you can commit. And that's it. That's the end all be all. Okay, I'm memeing, and there's a lot of non-Muslims in here who don't know that I'm memeing. But it's kind of true, but I'm memeing. But the meme is, in Muslim communities, like, the worst thing you could do is eat fucking pork. Motherfuckers will, like, do cocaine and then be like, no, bacon? Come on, bro. Haram. Yemeyiz abi domuz. Yenilmez abi domuz. Actually, a lot of Turks I know will say that they don't like the taste of it because they just like didn't grow up with it, I guess. There is a line, and that line is pork, motherfucker. Yeah. Bro, I'm a shitty Muslim, and that's the one thing I've never done. See, that's what I'm saying. It's delicious, by the way. Straight up. Oof, ham. Oh, Iberico. Jamón Iberico, dude. Holy shit. God damn, dude. That shit is so good. Ooh, it's so fucking good.
Different than what we consider modest. Yeah.
I think that the human in us, the sinners in us, wants it to change so we can do more. I think low key, we all want to dress a certain way so we can be attractive. And if how you want to present yourself to be attractive is sexual attraction from the opposite sex. If you want that, that's fine, but I think that's what it is, low key.
I feel like a lot of Islamic scholars sort of just try to relate it to this generation. I think people just try to make it easier based off of how other people are dressed here.
Yeah.
But it's still super clear, and I don't think it should be like altered based off of the year we're living in.
I would say I don't think it's super clear. Even within the Quran, there's so many interpretations of every single text. So we don't know exactly what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala meant when it said cover this and that, because people had interpreted it crazy different ways.
We should move the conversation away from specific physical clothing, acts, and rituals and focus on the lifestyle.
I think we should focus on both.
I think
Yeah,
we've
but
got to
why
meet in the
do you
middle.
want it to change off of the
I don't
focus?
think we need to redefine modesty, because I think that modesty in itself is not a dated or archaic kind of like concept. I think modesty is like the holistic way that we treat each other. And obviously like the different acts that we do to portray modesty has differed, but I would say modesty as a whole is like same from the beginning of Islam or to now.
Alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah, we did it. Yay. Yes.
Alhamdulillah. Wait, what is this one? Did we see this?